Alright, well, I've got everything all sorted out, so I've gone live again. Today's a bit more Doom, because I'm going back through and just making sure that things are what they are. Things are what they ought to be. So, I'm going back through Doom 1 today, and today I'm doing Chapter 1 tomorrow, or not, excuse me. Today I'm doing Chapter 1, later today I'm doing Chapter 2, and then I believe it's going to be Tuesday that I do Chapter 3. No, that doesn't seem right. Hell, I could actually check. Thursday, Chapter 3. Tomorrow's gonna be some GTA. Tuesday's gonna be whatever happens in Silpa. Friday's gonna be whatever happens in Silpa. Wednesday, I'm taking off. Saturday, I'm taking off for my birthday. So, I've got the whole week laid out ahead of me. Hopefully, all goes according to plan. And it's possible that other people might join in Discord, but until then, it's just gonna be me playing Doom. So let's get into it. First string, technically fourth, but most of that's just because of testing and all that to make sure everything's alright. Love the verticality of this game. It's great. They knew what they were doing. Well, props to him. I'm not exactly gonna be going for an all secrets run or anything this time around. I'm probably just gonna be screwing around, seeing what's up. But any secrets that I do remember, I'll probably get to. Damn hit scanners, go away. Yeah, I know there was a place behind me, but I'll get back to that. What was this imp doing? Make up your mind, up or down, buddy. Because that one wandered up a little bit. It's fine. I did not even mean to trigger that yet. It's better that I did, though, I suppose. I don't know why I just sat there and ate that. Getting caught on corners. Line him up, knock him down. The shotgun over here just has a chance of shooting. I'll kindly take effectively health from not getting all banged up. It's a room of sucky. What are you shooting at, buddy? It's me doing that. It's my job. Yes, Pinky, I hear you. Around here, all the way around here. Damn it. I gotta get a bit more precise with my movements. Damn. How tight is the window for that? This one... is a lot less tight. In comparison. I almost made a fool of myself there. Okay. yes, yes, secret area. Great. Damn. What's the window on that? Oh. It's not that it's a super tight window, it's that I was starting all the way back there. I'm great at this. Okay. Rockets, yeah. I know there's a bomb back here. Looks that I have to eat damage for it, but it's fine. Oh, while I'm at it, I might as well. Come on. There you are. Sniped a barrel from behind the wall. I didn't really need the health, but health is nice to have if somehow I catastrophically fail. Game? Okay. Just did not like that very much. You'd expect a game that was 30 years ago to behave a little better on hardware like this. It would probably help as well, though. You being able to aim. There we go. You ready? Now I go all the way back. Backpack. Oh well. You mind shotgunner? Love giving enemies like that. What's the yellow key? Yeah, that's just lead to that. Hey, you. There's the yellow key. Oh, baby. 200 health, 200 armor. I'm good, I'm stocked. Hells yeah. That was a really long EU on M3. This ain't my first rodeo, I will say that much. But it's not like you could really tell with me taking that long to push a button. Jeez. Probably sure there's some way I could tightly strafe in that area. Going right up there. on, slow elevator. There you go. I don't need to use it yet, but really need at some point down the road. Sure, I'll take this. What's off this way again? Right. It's all this. Here. It's just that. Can't surprise me with shotgun. I mean, yeah, sure, they're a little part of it, but can't outright surprise me with them. Well, this sucks. I probably should have gone that way with suit. Yeah. I don't know why I walked into that one either. That's that. Be there. Come on. Eat the damage, Pinky. It's okay, it's healthy for you. But not for me. Close there, admittedly. Let's see. I don't know how I avoided that. I was walking basically right in the path of it. Well, not walking per se, but... Sick bite, buddy. Really worked out for you, didn't it? Okay. I'm sure I didn't get all the secrets on this level, but hey, it's weird. Keep going at the speed I am. Stream's gonna be over in 20 minutes. Spectres. Give me that secret area. Yeah. Thank you. That's that. Settled. Love it when they shoot each other like that. Come on, let me in. I had no right to hit that. But I did, anyway. Because... fuck you, that's why, apparently. Right, that's that. Shotgunners are inconvenient. Hit scanners just as a whole are not too terribly. I know there's a blip down there. I'm gonna get it. And oh, just you stop me. A fun room. Oh no, it's an ambush. Press this button and here comes everything. Boy, howdy. Me knowing it's gonna happen still doesn't mean I'm great at avoiding it. Jesus. I need to stop eating stupid health like that. Or, excuse me, eating damage like that. Give me that. It's fine, it's perfectly normal to be sitting at 2 health. See? I really wish I did save. Damn. Oh well. Who'd have thought my strategy of shotgunning everything is actually better? I'm no safe scummer today, so I'm just gonna take my L and live with it. Come on. Whatever. Cross that bridge when I get there. Boy. I'll take those. And I'll take that ammo though. Or did I just bounce off there? I'd just like to see you try, Pinky. Come on. You go ahead and damn well do that. I don't know why I'm going this way. I don't know what's up for that. Time it down. And there's meant to be another word there, but sure, time to down works, I suppose. Okay, not that way. This way has the same stuff. Essentially different way. It's yes. Okay. There was a spawn there. I just figured it, and this wouldn't just lead you up to nothing. Well, bad wording when I go up to a place that does. Yeah, I hear you. Whatever. That was a lot of damage that I didn't need to take. You gonna go up, or what? Damn it. I guess I don't need that armor. Whatever. It's fine.
Fine, I can just go without it.
Spectre there. I didn't really intend on doing so, right away at least, but, you know, whatever. I don't know what that guy was expecting. Very piss poor on health.
Oh, at the rate I'm going, I really want to finish this. I'm going to finish this within 20 minutes.
Little did I realize I'd die at least twice. I can't speak to how many times I'll die after this, but even one time is embarrassing. Jesus, everyone just loves gathering up right there, dude. Yeah, whatever. I'll deal with those guys. What am I doing? Deal with that Pinky later. I wanna have to deal with Pinky later. Whatever. Swing back around. Room that I'm not great at dealing with. That's how I can tell for sure that nobody's in call. Because I would have gotten a snarky no or something like that. Okay. Blue key. Wonderful. What do you lead to? Oh, you lead here. Huh, neat. What's this lead to? Here. I need to go back down here. Press the funny button. I'm supposed to be at least partially invisible. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, I don't need that armor. I'd like that armor. I don't need that armor. Congrats, guys. You really got me. Back to me being hit my shots. I didn't realize that we were still alive. That's my excuse for getting hit. I don't have any words for that one. I just bumped straight to the specter that I knew was there, but I didn't realize, or that I didn't remember was there. I'm very great at this game, can't you tell? Now I could go over there, but I also could remember where it is I'm going in the first place. That ain't it. Yeah, here. That's the one. This room sucks a lot of ass. Mine. Well, good news, I didn't die a third time. I shouldn't have died a first or a second, though. Really. What the hell was I aiming at there? Jesus. Game's all sorts all over the place today, huh? I don't know what I was expecting there. Let me try pushing against a red door that I know damn well can't be read and opened without a red key. Yes. I am very their shotgun blasts get to go through enemies, but mine don't. What kind of fairness is that? It's Doom, never mind. Forget I asked that. Okay, now I can look at what's inside this room. Also, do you mind sprint key? Jesus. You don't get to shoot on me. Not happening today. Yeah, I can't get at that yet. Spin around. Oh, okay. Well, I can't do anything with that yet. Okay, looks like I might actually have to go into the red door. Almost ran straight into a pinky bite. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, do I want to take the plunge into some sludge? Yes. Sure, man. I'll take that after I've gotten a lot of damage from walking in through that. Yeah, whatever. Oh, it's fine. Blue door. You, don't shoot at me. Keep stop shooting at me. That makes sense. Which it doesn't. Always felt like there should be a secret room there. That still requires a yellow door. It's a yellow key for the yellow door. I know how to speak the English language, trust me. I'm great at this. Mastered the language. Nobody's mastered the English language. Thanks for trying, guys. You really did it. You really win. You win the game. Oh man. Funny switch. Flick. You perish immediately. King's Decree or whatever. I don't know. Fuck you. Ah! I didn't even know that existed. I just had a feeling there was a thing there. Like, did I did not know that was Are you growling at me, guys? Come on. Okay. Damage here. Looks very threatening, Pinky. It'll do you a lot of favors down the line. It's fine. Fuck it, I'll go for this. I suppose I won't. Ooh, there was a funny little beastie there. Wow. This opened the door somewhere. The hell just opened up? Button. Goes back to go. I believe in you. You can bite me. Try. Okay, that's that. Oh boy, this opens back up. Yay. Out. Hey, yeah, thanks, guys. Good try, though. Do you mind? Yeah. Like, yeah, I know this is where you find the Baron of Hell and all that, but like, this place doesn't seem very, you know, boss-like. Neither really does that outside there. Hey. Shoot at you first. By first, I mean not first. Sick work, dropping bad guys. Literally just been better off not doing it. Man, get behind me. worth a try. I don't care if there's nothing there.
Let me believe, man. Let me believe.
Like, yeah, this is a big place, big complex. But, you know, you can't exactly tell me that this it's all too much like,
Oh yeah, there's a boss here.
trust me, dude. It just doesn't seem like that kind of place, you know what I mean? Really easy to get stuck on barrels. Damn. Okay, let's save just in case this is the thing that crushes. Oh, I can't remember. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. It's not even one of those like metaphorical nothings. No, that's a literal nothing. From here. I don't want to go there. Can't make. Yellow door. That just leads here. Okay. Blue key. Ah. Just growled at me. Maybe whatever godforsaken loans there are on whatever the hell planet this is. Knock that off. Cut that out. Very kind way to meet a stranger. Okay, I guess I do have a... What? Ah. This is the place. I wonder if I can kill all that, honestly. Wow. Excellent work, friends. I'm gonna go not that way. Damn. It's a fine decision. What's here with me? No, like seriously, what the fuck hit me? don't need a chain gun. Fuck you. Terribly healthy. Good work, guys. You really got me. Just snag some health before I, you know, pick these guys up. And... Oh wow, it's dead. Hey, check this out. This one's also dead. Wow. Really hard boss fight. Really hard boss fight. Incredibly hard. All this open space really leaves something to be desired here, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, I know it's, super big open space that made you happy because you beat the video. Sad. Episode, but like, doesn't feel all that grand, you know? Like, there's the thing right here, and boom, game. Yeah. So yeah, cool. I'll be back. I'll be back live. Live for 54 minutes. Fun stuff. Good. I'll be back at 7.